Hey, this is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. What we're going to do right now, we're going to play our intro video so that you can like, share, and comment. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, the other thing that we've got to come to see now that many of us didn't see too well during the last 10 years, that is that racism
not guilty
is still alive in American society and much more widespread.
Broke his neck after Baltimore police.
A handful of protesters, a handful of criminals and thugs who...
Many in moments of anger, many in moments of deep bitterness, engage in riots. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Mr. Gray's death was a homicide.
The Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery.
The athletes marched onto a stage.
But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaningful. Freedom without land to cultivate. Freedom and famine at the same time.
And create jobs for our people.
The Negro is to be free. He must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. That's power right there if we know how to prove it. We begin the process of building a greater economic base. And at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. We don't have to argue with anybody. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country. Say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. We come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you're not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. And our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's world.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, Week in Review. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I'm one of the co-founders of CSRN and also a registered member of the Nation of Islam here in Toledo. 9 years ago, myself, Jabril Bey, and Mike Leonardi had this idea that just ordinary people could speak truth to power. They didn't have to be pastors, politicians, preachers, or professionals. Just have a megaphone, some facts in, and it is what it is. What am I wearing today? Today I have on my kind of a knit tan cap. I've got my vest on, a scarf, my beads, and as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter, Injustice or Else. And normally you would see Jody Summers, child of the system, here, but today in the co-pilot seat, I've got Yasin Muhammad. So if you could introduce yourself, what are you wearing? And then what we're going to do, we're going to get right into our mission statement. I'll do what do I got here? The guiding principles. And then we're going to come back and talk about young people and how they could de-stress. So who are you? What are you wearing?
Well, my name is Yasin Muhammad, and I am wearing a black turtleneck with black jeans and black Adidas.
All right.
Black on black.
All right. It seems like everybody in the studio today, they must have had a group text. Hey, we're black, except for Brother Washington. It's all right. I know where y'all live. All right. It is what it is. Hey, listen, we want to really move it along and get the Dejah. I think Gigi's in the studio too, but we really want to get to what we're going to be talking about today. You saw it in the title, Lean on Me Foundation, Yasin Muhammad. We're going to talk about some case management. So if you could, let's get into our mission statement, the CSRN mission statement. I'll do the guiding principles. You ready?
Amazing. We are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014. The day after it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustice experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, attacked, provoked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive community-based events that help to foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable to their own duties, be they politicians, clergy, law enforcement, educators. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, regardless of creed or class or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
All right. Now, you were involved in Kwanzaa
Yes, sir.
Last month.
Yes, sir.
And hey, calling me sir, man. All right. Now, why is it important for you that we stay active in our community?
I mean, if we want anything done in your community, you have to be active. I mean, everything. If you don't act on a force, it's all just potential energy. If the world wanted to run on potential, man, we'd be doing anything we wanted. We'd be everywhere. We'd be doing the impossible. But we don't run off potential. We run off activity. We run off of action.
Oh, okay. All right. I was writing it all down. I'm going to say that tomorrow in my when I facilitate group. Hey, listen, what I'm going to get into right now are our guiding principles. And if you wanted to start a grassroots organization, it's best to have a mission statement. And that lets people know who you are and what you're about. And without a mission statement, especially sometimes our groups end up being co-opted. You might have started this way, but since you didn't have a mission statement, somebody could easily slide in and make it something totally different.
Right.
But once you get that mission statement and we start getting active, how do we keep the disagreement? How do we keep healthy disagreements? How do we relieve ourselves of that toxic thing? That's guiding principles. And these are our CSRN guiding principles. All Black lives matter, queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, differently able Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe.
Ashe.
And Ashe means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving, our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist, think beyond the possible. Ashe?
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe?
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe.
Ashe.
Principal struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe.
Ashe.
Love, self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe.
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe.
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe.
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe.
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe.
Ashe.
And I just wanted to add that our guiding principles, we didn't make them up ourselves. Back in 2015, there was this conference called Black Lives Convening in Cleveland, Ohio. And everybody that had organized it was 35 and under. And I think that I was the oldest person there. And they had this concept that the way we were organizing, we leave a lot of people out. So if you're not religious, you're left out. If you're young, you're left out. If you got a criminal background, you're left out. If you're not a Democrat, you're left out. So they came up with this slogan of all lives matter. That means that all of us can advocate for each other.
Right.
So we took that, made some changes to it, and we use that as our guiding principle so that even us as activists with strong personalities and opinions, we've got something that's going to kind of keep us on the rails too. Hey, listen, before we take a break, I see we got Jody Summers in our green room. What I'm going to do, I'm going to bring him in, and maybe he can, I don't know if he's going to give us a 5 minutes of heat early. So let's check him out. Hey, Jody, what's going on?
Hey, here at rehearsals, and all that stuff. I just wanted to be, so miss you guys. Again, I'm probably not going to be back on air for like a month. I don't have a 5 minutes of heat, but you can see my first shave in a while.
Okay. Man. Yeah, I think a lot of people haven't seen you
shaved since,
since
I don't know, the bun signing last
early
year.
90s.
But anyway,
yeah.
Sorry I can't be there, everybody. Some of the casting crew is coming in now, but we got about 15 minutes till we start rehearsal. Hopefully, maybe we'll come on one of the Tuesdays before and just say hi as a casting crew. But I guess instead of 5 minutes, let me just give you something encouraging and awesome intro and stuff. Somebody else read my paper.
That's right.
But again, love you guys. And I want to say, no matter what it is, your goals, the dreams you have. I just recently watched the Chappelle Show thing, his last one, and that is very true. Your dreams have to be the biggest thing in your life. When you walk into any room, and I'm paraphrasing, you are the main character, but you also have to be humble enough to know that you are a side character in somebody's life, somebody that may only get to read a page or two of yours. So try and just connect to people more. Stop selling yourself for things you don't even get back in dividends from. Keep money on you. Learn how to farm. Learn how to do stuff for yourself that requires you to use your hands. It's the most powerful tools that separates us from all the other species, so we say. And just be safe out there. Love one another. Be happy. See you at the flag raising.
All right.
and all
I
that good stuff.
snapping my fingers. And yeah, that's going to be part of our shout outs and solutions. CSRN will be raising the flag at One Government Center February the 1st, 11 a.m. We're going to see if we get Yasin, Dejah, and Gigi to join us on that historic day that does not happen in Ohio. We are the only grassroots organization that twisted some arms and bumped some elbows and
We're
made
going to climb some flagpoles if we had to.
That's right. All right. Well, I don't know about that, but anyway, yeah, because y'all ain't gonna bail me out. Hey, listen, we're gonna take a short break. We're gonna come back with Yasin Muhammad. We're gonna talk about case managing. Oh, last thing. What's the name of the play, and when is it going to premiere, and where?
So the name of the play is called Sweat. It's by Lynn Redding. Right now, the person that is directing it is Liam Ellis, and it's going to be at the Toledo Repertoire Theater, downtown 10th, 16th Street. And that is going to be from the 16th through the 25th of February. There are many night days, but there are 2 daytime shows, so 7 curtains in all. So I hope to see you there. Again, love you guys. I'm still sharing what I can, and let me go get into character.
All right. Thank you, brother.
So they haven't seen me yet.
All right. All right. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
Canal.
En esta hermosísima ciudad de Orlando.
I'm here in Barranquilla, Colombia, and in sunny Miami. Daytona Beach, mis amigos, that's where we're at today.
Desde la ciudad de Cartagena, Colombia.
We are in Orlando right now, here in Florida.
I'm Helene Sheets, Director of Marketing and Communications at beautiful Lourdes University, and we've been a proud sponsor and supporter of Voces Latinas TV for over a decade. It has been a fantastic partnership. It's been our doorway into the Latino community. We've met so many incredible people, created so many partnerships. Our students absolutely love the connections we've made through Voces Latinas TV, and we're looking forward to at least another decade, 2 decades.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, a weekend review. One of the CSRN traditions, whenever we have a guest, even though you saw him doing the mission statement, he's kind of filling in for Jody, and pretty good. All right, we can even say Jody who? All right, yeah. All right.
I can never replace
Jody. All right, well, I don't know. I said that while Jody's on break because he's rehearsing for the play called Sweat, and it's going to be premiering late February at the Repertoire. We needed at least 5 or 6 people to just take Jody's place. So right now we've got Yasin. Hopefully next week we're going to have somebody else that's doing a guest spot. So by the time Jody gets back, we'll say, hey, look, thanks, but no thanks, Jody. I think we got this covered. But one of our traditions is, once again, if you can, for the people that are watching now, some of the people that may be just logging on to Spotify, if you can introduce yourself, what are you wearing, and what are we talking about today?
Hey, I'm Yasin Muhammad. I am wearing a black turtleneck, black jeans, black Adidas, and a watch here.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we were talking about case management earlier and how young people can de-stress in the world that we live in. What is that like to you doing that type of work, and what type of tips that can parents give to young people? And if the young people are watching this now, what are some of the tips that they can use to help balance out in the world they live in now?
Well, case management is different depending on what you do. You see, what case management is a mental health service. So when we do case management, it's different for everybody. Now, some people may work with adults with that could have addiction issues. There could be substance abuse, alcoholism, all the 9 yards with that. But for me, I work with children in a school.
Okay.
I work with children that may have low test grades. I can have students that are doing super well in school, but they have behavioral, not problems, but they just have behavioral shortcomings that can just be raised. Some of them may not even have behavioral issues. They just may be a little bit socially closed off, and that can impede them from doing things that we as case managers know that they have the full capability of doing.
All right. So I remember case management from way back in the day where they had the tough love, shake a baby and stuff like that. So, hey, that was a long time ago. All right.
I don't know much about shaking a baby.
All right. So for you, how did you get interested in working with young people and being a part of the case management team?
Well, what interested me I work with people in general. When I was first in college, I was a civic ambassador. Now, for those that may not know what that is someone that basically helps students navigate their lives around the college campus, whether that's emotionally, financially, or just with academics in general. That's what my job, to navigate them around the school, tell them who to go to, where that is, and how to find it for themselves next time they may have a question.
All right. So now, how different is working with young people that are college age from working with young people maybe 8 years old, 11?
Well, the thing is, I feel like with younger people, especially little kids, there's more to work with. Sometimes kids are more likely to even like imitate the things that you do.
Right.
For example, this may seem very silly, but it shows that children are listening and seeing the things we do. Sometimes I'm an old man at heart. I like old man candies. I like Werther's candy.
Oh, okay.
Candies.
All right. Shout out to Werther's. I hope they heard that they cut us in.
But it's the fact that they'll see me eat things like this, and then they'll be like, "Hey, can I get one?" And then they'll keep asking me if I have this specific kind of thing. It is even to the fact to where even healthy eating and just health in general. I once one of my first few days of case management, I would just randomly just talk to them about health and stuff, and herbal teas and stuff. And one day, my students asked me, "Hey, if we all do good on a test, we got to try one of your teas because you're always drinking tea, but we never drank tea before." So they all got like a B, A, C+ on a test, and they say, "Hey, you know the deal." I'm like, you know what?
That's messed up. I mean, that's not messed up. That's something.
But yeah. So I let them go on Amazon. I let them select what they wanted, and they tried it. They liked it, and that was that. But kids are watching what you're doing.
All right. Speaking of watching what you're doing, what do you do? Working with young people could be challenging. All right. I haven't worked with young people in years. All right. what is it that you do to rebalance? In our guiding principle, we talk about self-care, taking some time out to do something that brings you balance. So what do you do, Mr. Case Manager, when you're done managing everyone else?
Oh man. Well, sometimes some of these are seasonal things,
Okay.
but maybe not. Walks in the park. Oh my gosh. If you ever did like a walk in the park by yourself, it's like so freeing. Like you're not worried about what kid is doing this. You're not worried about, oh my gosh, I hope I can finish this note on time. You're focusing on the now. You're focusing on what you see in front of you. For some people, they may walk in the park and be like, well, there's nothing around here. But when you really focus in on things like that, I mean, you may see a bird you never saw. There could be a deer right in front of you. You walk the other way because you don't want that kind of smoke.
Okay, true.
There's tons of things that you can do. Personally, for me, during the summer, when after a hard day at work, I used to go to the zoo on, I think it's Indian Creek. I think that's in Michigan.
Okay, I know where that is.
I would go there. It's cheaper, but you can interact with the animals. You can do a whole bunch of stuff. You can feed them. I fed a giraffe before. I don't know if anyone's ever fed a giraffe before. They got blue tongues. It's really weird, but it's just the little things of just like interacting with nature, getting outside, standing outside of yourself.
All right, my last question, and we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with, I think we got Julian Mack in the green room. All right, I see him. All right,
I love Julian.
He's got another hat on.
Does he have another hat on?
Look, I don't know where he gets them, but
He didn't
hey,
get me a hat.
I know. All right, hobbies. We were talking to Gigi earlier about her hobbies, and she said she was it tufting? Was it all right? So
I think that's like crochet, but for like it's not like crochet.
No, come on, man.
Oh,
it's when you're making rugs.
Oh,
we're not making a shawl. No, it's not our grandma making a. Oh man! All right. Let me. I can't be getting out on you online because you might see me on the street. All right. So, hobbies. Do you have any hobbies? Anything that you like to do that helps you with your self-care?
I feel like every question I have this long-winded answer.
Yeah, but we're gonna cut you short because the library be flicking the light on and off. All right.
Perfect. What I really love to do. I like anime. I'm a One Piece diehard fan. I love anime.
All right, shout out to anime and One Piece.
I love to write myself. I write sci-fi. I draw. I fix watches. I make herbal teas.
All right. Do you have anything, or you said you like to write? Are you working on something right now?
I am working on this little project that you may that in the near future I will be posting on like my social media, but it's still some ways to go. But I am writing a book that I'm been writing since I was 16. So it's been a long time coming for this thing. It's my baby.
Okay.
So I definitely do can't wait for that to really just come to fruition. A lot of people have been working with me on it. A lot of artists, a lot of people that rap, a lot of people that just love art.
All right, last question, and we're going to take a break. We had our sister Anika Fields on last week, and she talks about gratitude. She has the Empowerment Toolbox. Can you name 3 things you're grateful for? If so, what would those things be?
I'm glad that I can wake up and love myself.
Okay.
I'm glad I can. I'm glad I am in the positions that I can be in order to help other people. I know that sounds a little cheesy, but yeah, I'm actually. It actually makes me happy.
All right.
To help other people. My third thing would be creativity. I never want to dull that because without creativity, I'm going to be bored.
Okay. Hey, listen. Would you mind coming back in the near future to give some more hints about self-care, balancing, and give us some tips on where you are with the book?
Oh, I can always do that. I would love to.
All right. Hey, listen, fam, we're going to be coming right back with, I think we're coming back with Julian Mack because he's in the green room now.
I love
Then we're going to,
Julian's
well, okay, don't say it too much because he'll never stop talking. All right. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
Did you know addiction is a disease? not a moral dilemma. The opioid epidemic and substance use have a major impact on communities of color and many people's lives. The Joshua Treatment Center offers culturally relevant, inpatient, and outpatient behavioral health treatment and recovery support services to any Ohioan struggling with addiction, mental health, or finding sober, safe housing. We must recognize that treatment is available and accessible to all. If you are in need of treatment or want to find out more information, you can call 1-888-728-2713 to talk to someone or schedule an appointment.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call digital edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
All right, we are back. Hey, caught you off. All right. This is CSRN Podcast, our weekend review, where every week we come live and talk about some of the things that we've done last week, which was the Dr. King celebration, the things that we're doing right now, which is really giving a platform to some of our young people that are doing some amazing things in our community. So whenever someone says young people aren't doing anything, maybe you're not doing anything, but we got some awesome individuals. Hey, but what I want to do right now, I want to bring Julian in from the green room and say what's up with him. So what's going on, Julian?
What up?
Man, we doing just fine. Also, as always, it's awesome to see you. I don't know if that was the hat that you had with you last week. That's a different hat. Obviously, those some different shades. Look like you dripped. I don't know, man. I'm trying to catch it immaculate because I'm right here and nobody said nothing about me. So, if you don't mind, brother, we're having an awesome conversation. We've got Yasin Muhammad. We got Dejah Griffith that's going to come on a little bit later on and talk about the Lean On Me Foundation. You might think that when you hear the words "lean on me," that it's going to be a really old lady coming to talk about stuff, but no, it's just the opposite.
I thought something very, very opposite, but we're not going in that Lil Wayne direction tonight.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So, with always our CSRN tradition, for those that are watching for the first time and some of those who are listening for the first time, can you introduce yourself? What are you wearing, and what are we talking about today?
Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, depending on when you're listening to this. My name is Julian Mack. I have often served as a spokesman for the Community Solidarity Response Network. I am now, do I still want to call it a respite? I'm in a healing space. We'll call it that.
All right.
As I take some time to focus on myself, and as a part of that, I still want to feel connected to the people, right? And that has led to this segment called the Inward Revolutionary. My preferred pronouns are he, him, and go ahead, brother.
Yeah, how did you come up with that term? You know, we do revolutionary stuff every day, but I've never heard of inward revolutionary, because most of the stuff that we do, we're pointing out, we're telling everybody that there's something wrong and there's nothing wrong with me, it's you. How did you come up with that term, inward revolutionary?
Yeah, it's really, one of the things I finished this week was the whole book, Decoded by Sean Carter, Jay-Z. And Inward Revolutionary is a triple entendre.
Okay.
So the first is I wanted to, I've been doing a lot of reflection on who I am, on just who I am, right? And there's who I am in the body, there's who I am in the mind, There's who I am in the spirit. And one thing that is always there, no matter how I try to run from it,
Okay.
or even how much I try to embrace it, is that I am a revolutionary warrior of love and light, right? No, and by revolutionary, I mean one that changes the thing. Ashe.
Ashe. Yes, sir. I saw what you did there.
And so, even when I don't want to be one that changes a thing, my simple presence there changes the thing.
That's right.
And so realizing that that is a part of me at all times, whether I want it to be or not, that is who I am. Revolutionary. Right? I am a revolutionary, in the words of Fred Hampton. Right.
That's right.
So, in embracing that, which did not just happen automatically, right? There's been times in my life where I've considered myself a moderate, right? There's been times in my life where I think still in my life I consider myself to be a bridge builder, right?
Yeah.
And the part of being a revolutionary is knowing when to build a bridge and knowing when to burn the bridge, right? But just embracing that. Also, as far as the inward part, there's a lot of effort over the past at least 9 years, but really over the arc of my entire life that has been spent on particularly electoral politics and trying to change the system by way of the voting booth. So try to change community and society,
right?
Specifically by way of the voting booth. I still believe that is a way to try to make our community and society a better place. And there are many other ways. And becoming really frustrated with where we are in this stage of late stage capitalism. Often we often we hear the phrase "Rome wasn't built in a day," right?
I've heard that.
Rome didn't fall in a day either. And I think what's interesting is we're experiencing the failure of capitalism, and in many ways we're experiencing the failure of democracy, or at least what I was taught democracy should be growing up. When we look at, there was a video I posted on my page not too long ago about very popular issues amongst the people that left and right wing, both sides of the aisle, can agree on. And there's no movement on it because many of our elected officials, especially and specifically on the national level, when we're looking at both houses of Congress, aren't beholden to the people. They're beholden to their corporate donors, right? And so, which is why at times it's so hard to hold them accountable at the voting booth. Which
That's
is
true.
why we have, many people who have been in office. I'm damn near 40, right? And we have people who have been in office longer than I've been alive. So I think that says something coming from somebody that is a revolutionary and wants change. You know what I mean? It's
That's
been
right.
my whole life.
Right. Can I ask you a quick question?
So understanding that, let me just finish this thought though. Understanding that the greatest change that we can make comes from within. In the words of Lauryn Hill, how we gonna win if we ain't right within? Come again. Right. And so understanding, taking ownership over what I can control, which is always me, is what led me down this road.
That's beautiful. It's like welcome to the party. How do you reconcile your feelings, realizing that when it comes to those national elections, that the politicians are beholden to the donors? They get the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and eighth slice, and whatever's left over, they pocket, but really don't represent us. So how do you reconcile that as me being a part of that political thing, you know, for a long time? How do you reconcile learning in knowing that they really don't speak for us?
Well, I mean, whose system is this? Right? I would say, you know, this is supposed to be our country, but I mean, when we break it down, you know, the system functions in the way that it's supposed to, right?
That's right.
You know, this country was founded for, oh, I hate using that word. I'm not going to use that word. This country was stolen, right, by quote unquote. I'm going to kind of go between a couple different terminologies, but this country was stolen by white men to acquire resources for domination. Right? It's always been about domination, right? Not so like this brand of democracy. It's never been all, and it's never ever been about freedom and justice for all, because of the way that is interlinked with white supremacy, an ideology, a sick Eurocentric ideology that is inextricably tied to domination, right? A domination that comes from insecurity, right?
No lies detected. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, you know, it's hard. It was hard for me to understand on a surface level, but then as I peel back the layers, because I'm a person that's I got to make the world I got to make the world make sense to me, you know, and it's all there. The maths. You just got to pull back enough layers, and you know, when we do that, we understand that the system is functioning as it was designed to benefit a small sect of people, as it always has, and to dominate other groups of people, as it always has, including Black people, including poor white people, including all other people. I hate to use that, but because I don't even like the term other. It's used as a trick, right, for 10% of the global population that looks a certain way, but when really we're talking about 0.01% of the population to attempt to dominate the global majority, right?
All right,
We
hey
are
Julian,
for the global majority.
All right, I'm at 6:45. What we want to know from you is for the inward revolutionary, if you don't mind sharing. And I was talking with Dejah and Gigi earlier. Did I say that right? Did I say Gigi? All right. We were talking about the fact that you're going to be on, and you do your segment is the inward revolutionary, talking about your journey. And most times we hear people talk about their journey years afterward. All right, which makes it unreasonable and sometimes unattainable. But you're actually walking the walk right now. What are you working on? What is the inward revolutionary working on right now inside?
Multiple things at one time. One, a couple things, right? So that's a good question. You're coming with it, brother Washington. You coming with
sir.
it.
We've been studying you for probably the last year and a half to see if you were going to be resilient. Most of us have been studying you since the middle of the late part of 2020. Seeing if you were going to bounce back. We took the office pool. Most of us bet that you weren't coming back. So I think I lost some money there. So for you, before we take a break and connect with Dejah.
Yeah, this is going to take me a second, and I still got a brief reading. But as some of you may know, I got the underdog tattooed on me, right?
Yeah.
You should never bet against this underdog, right? First off,
That's right.
But I understand, right?
Right. But I told him.
But really, as I move, so I look at this as I'm at the ripe age of 39 years old.
Yeah.
Part of why I'm taking this time off is this is my halftime.
Go ahead.
Right? If I'm blessed enough, I've been blessed to make it this far, but understanding, that midlife crisis kind of sneaks up on you, right? And before you know it, you're 25, then 35. Well, how the average life expectancy for a black man is what? Exactly.
65.
Right?
That.
It ain't 80,
bro.
It's not 80. I know that.
No.
Right.
No.
So at the age of 39, right, kind of the realization that perhaps, well, I'm just going to speak into existence that I'm at about the halfway point, right?
Okay, I got you.
So realizing that was the first half of my life, and I need to take some time to intentionally prepare, refocus. And now that I kind of have some ideas about how life works, prepare for the second half of the life. And so yeah. I mean, that has part to do with what I'm saying. I kind of forget the question though.
But it's all good because we really want to come back.
Okay.
Before we close out, so let me take a quick commercial.
I got it. Can I hit you with one quote? I got the book. So this is by Young Pablo. A Way Forward.
Let's get it.
Yeah, I have actually 4 really short readings. This book is full of. It's from so this brother went on a Vispana retreat. I just put in my application for this Vispana retreat, and hopefully, if I get accepted, there'll be 10 days of silence and meditation. I'm not sure if I'm up to not talking for 10 days or communicating for 10 days.
I'm definitely participating in the office pool on that. All right.
Yeah, but
I win my money back.
I'm intentionally doing some hard things with the hope, with knowing that hard things will transform me, right?
Yes, sir.
And so here are some of the wise words from Young Pablo and The Way Forward. I'm going to read 4 readings briefly. Quote, some friends, no. Quote, if you really want to rebel in a narrow-minded, egocentric society, be more loving, care more widely and vocally, boldly live from your heart, give without fear, find joy in being selfless, share your talents, and live without needing permission. It's from page 153. 154. When your self-love increases, you become far more willing to harm others. Why? Because real self-love slowly opens the door to unconditional love for all human beings. 4 life lessons. Build inner peace or fall to outer chaos. Being flexible does not mean giving up. Appreciate the closest friends in your life. Challenging times do not last forever. They asked her, how do you know the healing is working? She answered, when your mind is no longer governed by the past, and when you feel peace in situations where you used to feel tension, you more easily connect with joy and happily use boundaries to protect your well-being. The healing is real when your mind feels lighter and loving yourself comes more naturally. Progress. Right. And so those are just some
yes, sir.
Readings that I think are really applicable today. Again, that's from Young Pablo. The book is The Way Forward, right, which is full of lots of wisdom, and it's
That's
really easy read for anybody that's kind of new to reading and getting into reading. Just real briefly, I want to give a shout out to Tim Petaway, we had a beginning of a Black Man's Book Club where we started discussing self-care for Black men, right? And had a great discussion on that. So,
all right, Tim, is that junior or senior?
Junior.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so anybody's interested in that, shoot him a message, right? He's got his own link. Now, I don't, right?
Okay,
So,
and also Tim was one of the recipients of the Black Lives Matter Awards a few years ago. So that brother's solid.
Yeah, so and we had a really, great, vulnerable conversation, and it's starting to be very apparent, right, that we are moving into a season where we as Black men are going to have to create our own safe spaces, mentally, physically, and emotionally for other Black men, right? Because only we know what it takes.
Before you go, one of my objectives last summer was I was talking with some of the local therapists, and I'm going to just do it this year, as we always do. If nobody's going to do it, we'll do it. We're going to have what I call self-care Saturdays. I'll bring 20 chairs. We'll go to Uptown Green and just invite brothers to come and share.
That's awesome.
Yep. So my word is my bond. Sometimes we have to volunteer our skill set at no cost. Most times we only use our skill set from 9 to 5. And after 5 o'clock, our community suffers. So I'm going to take that initiative. Self-care Saturdays. Come on, sit down. I statements, respect each other's feelings, and let's get it. All right. Hey, let's take a short.
That's awesome. Thank you.
We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back with Dejah Griffith and the Lean On Me Foundation. This is the CSRN podcast, a week in review. We'll be right back.
Incorporated Brothers United program believes that children are important. Every day we support and advocate for fathers because when children have involved fathers, the whole community thrives. The fathers that come into the Brothers United program are mostly young fathers who are primarily gang members or drug dealers or those involved in lots of trauma from the time when they were youth until now. This program has fatherhood classes which teach you about your role as a father, the importance of being a father, healthy relationships, how to co-parent and work better together with your co-parent, and then economic stability, how to get a job, how to keep a job. It is so important for fathers to learn to take care of their children holistically, not just emotionally, not just physically, but financially as well, because children need a holistic approach.
I really just needed help with really being a better father and looking for a job to be able to support my kids.
Some of the problems I was facing when I joined Brothers United was communication with my children. Had some time apart from each other for a while, so they gave me the tools to really get back in communication with them.
Fathers will come into our program with their heads down. 2 weeks later, their heads are up. 3 weeks later, they're laughing and talking. 4 weeks later, they're building a bond. And by the time we get to 8 weeks, they're saying, hey, we want to stay here. What can we do to stay connected?
It gave me a better perspective on how to look at things from other people's point of view. You know, sometimes us as men, we get caught up in being prideful and arrogant, thinking we don't need the help. We do. And we just have to put our pride, selfishness, and arrogance to the side. And when the help is there, take it.
Hope plays the most important role in everything that we do. because we have to have hope. We have to remember that fathers are important, and we have to not only say it, but we have to live it. We have to breathe it. We have to do it. We have to convey it to everyone.
Let's get a BU Nation on 3, fellas. 1, 2, 3. BU Nation!
The dads give us hope. The dads supply for us on the days when it gets hard. On the days when we've seen more violence than we ever want to see. On the days when we've lost some dads to jail or to murder, they give us hope. And so the hope that lives can change, if you invest in them, if you believe in them, then lives can change.
Brothers United changed my life, let's say, because of where I come from, what I've been through. I learned to understand it is help out there. Don't be scared to ask for it. If you don't reach, you can't grab. That's it.
They made me more employable, more desirable by employers, which in turn helped me provide for my family and provide for my children and my grandchild. So it makes me a better man, a better father, and a better example.
It showed me like how to be better to my kids, so I went and got custody of my son. My son been with me for a couple months now. So this showed me how to be a better parent all around, just a better man, period.
Initially, I didn't know that it could change men's lives. I didn't know that fathers could change. But it's amazing to me when fathers come back a year later, 2 years later, and tell us thank you. Or they'll make a Facebook post and say, look at what I'm doing now. It's amazing to me about the level of work that we've been able to do and the lives that we've changed in just a short period of time. And the fathers who come back and say, thank you, I needed you, and you were there.
Shout out to Brothers United, man. Be you.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. And I'm looking at the screen. I'm like, where is my hat? I'm like, where's my hat? Let's do this real quick. Oh, man, I could not see because there was a bright glare. All right, yeah, okay. Right. Our tech team, Yasin, Gigi, they are not getting paid today. All right. They should have had my back. They're looking at their phones at the podcast. Well, they should have been looking at me. But anyway, hey, listen, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review where we come to you live. We stream live from Mont Branch Library, and every week they roll out the red, black, and green carpet for us to run our podcast, and they've been supporting us for maybe about the last year and a half or 2 years here. So shout out to everybody in Mont Branch Library. Part of CSRN's tradition. We have a special guest today, and you're gonna, if it's the will of the universe, we're gonna see her again. Well, all right. I don't want to speak nothing into existence that my mind can't cash. All right.
He told me, so I'm gonna speak it. It's the will of the universe.
Well, all right. I was going to snap my fingers, but I was going to lose my man card. Could you tell everybody who you are? What are you wearing, and what are we talking about today?
My name is Dejah Griffith. I am the founder CEO of the Lean On Me Foundation. And I don't know how you didn't get the message, but we're wearing our black turtlenecks today.
I know.
Black, the black turtleneck, the black pants, black.
I guess the text didn't come through on my flip phone. All right. That's all good. It's all good. I'll get y'all back later on when I'm wearing all plaids and stripes. All right. That's what old people do.
I love me a good flannel with plaid.
Oh, okay. All right. Watch out. All right. Hey, listen, what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about the Lean On Me Foundation and all that it has to offer the community here in Toledo.
Okay. Why the name Lean On Me? We had Julian Mack on earlier. And we weren't joking you out because you're right over there, all right? And we're talking about, okay, the name is Lean On Me. Mm-hmm. Most of us will associate that name with kind of an old school kind of person, but you show up, it's like, What? So how did the name? How did you come up with the name Lean on Me? And what does that name mean to you?
Pretty much when I was in the process of developing the nonprofit and figuring out what was I gonna do and what was I gonna call it. I can't even tell you like what I had in my mind, but the only thing that kept like playing in my head over and over was the song itself by Bill Withers, Lean on Me. And the certain part that was playing was lean on me when you are not strong. I am your friend. I will help you carry on. And it just kept like playing like over and over and over for a very long time. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to call it the Lean on Me Foundation because at the end of the day, what my mission is, the objective and the goal is to help people lean on me and vice versa. So.
Okay, so I wanted to share the where is it? I'm trying to find the Lean on Me website. All right, there we go. We're going to share the website. I guess the thing's going to just push it to the side. On the website, it talks about was established in March 2022.
Yeah, so I was established in March 14th of 2022. So we're coming up on 2 years.
That's right.
That's when I did like my LLC and everything. But I just became an official 501c3 certified nonprofit.
All right, we snap our fingers to that. All right.
So I can now
That's
do.
legit.
Yes, it is legit. I'm so happy. I have all my numbers. You can look me up like on all the websites and everything. So
wow.
Now I have like the full clearance from the IRS and everything to go ahead and do all the.
Man, you are doing
stuff.
right. I've been doing stuff out my trunk for the last 30 years. All right.
It's okay. I've been doing it out the living room.
You came off the porch. All right. All right. I'm looking at your mission statement. It says committed to the unapologetically empowering women by creating safe spaces for them to be seen, heard, and recognized through memorable opportunities and resources. All right. So why empowering women where you could have easily got yourself together and said, hey, look, you guys are on your own? What made you decide to reach back?
Honestly, because the women reached out to me. So when I was in development of the Lean on Me Foundation, I wanted to help everybody. I wanted to do women's, men's, and kids.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
I had planned on doing like certain events to tackle each gender and each age group. But the ones that I was getting the most feedback and the most responses was from women. So I felt like the women called me and needed my help more. So I went ahead and showed up to be of service.
Right. Oh, and as far as the brothers, y'all come up with y'all own thing. All right. Don't be calling my daughter. Y'all come up with y'all own stuff. All right. Because I know y'all. All right. So the word, I think it's the word empowering. I'm trying to read this stuff on the screen.
Yeah.
Who came up with that acronym and who put the words in there? I always love hearing the origin story because I know that it just didn't come out of nothing. How did that come to be?
I was on the phone with my two best friends back home in Texas, Morgan and Chanel.
Okay.
And I told them that, my new slogan is going to be unapologetically empowering. I want women to like feel empowered, be empowered, empower others, but do it unapologetically. But I was like, I don't want it to just be like a word. I want it to be an acronym for certain things. So I was on the phone with them and we were just coming up with words that women represent. And so if you go in order, we are extraordinary. Women are majestic, powerful, optimistic, worthy, and central, resilient, influential, nurturing, graceful. And we do all of those things unapologetically.
Okay. So if I were someone looking at this, I might say, well, doesn't this look like women that want to be difficult or women that it looks like it's going against the grain of what I see whenever I listen to whenever I watch the videos on YouTube of women. And when you talk about being majestic, well, maybe that's not in. What do you say to people that say, well, you're not following the trend, you're doing something else?
Me personally, I'm not here to follow a trend. I am here to embrace all women. And, just because that is what you see, that may not be what you're supposed to get. And
Oh,
I think
okay.
these are the things that all women portray to be, whether it's being seen or not being seen. As long as they feel like this to themselves personally, then that's all that's here. I'm not for others. I'm here for them.
Ooh, wow. Okay. All right. All right. So for the people that asked me that question, there you go. You heard it from Dejah. Now, another thing I wanted to ask you regarding the Lean on Me Foundation, man, what are some of the 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 top things that make you feel good about doing this type of work? We had Yasin Muhammad on earlier talking about the case management and some of his successes and how that makes him feel. What about you? What are some of the benefits of you doing this work?
Honestly, just seeing like the smiles on other women's faces and seeing that, but not so much seeing, but hearing that I inspire them because of my age. With me being 27, a lot of
Oh,
people
wow.
find
Okay.
it a lot of people find
Yeah.
it so surprising that I'm very young and very wise for my age. But I just say it's because of all the life experiences that I had to endure. And I'm just here to help others. And when they hear my story and see that the story is the same or similar, or it kind of lines up about the same, that I was able to make it and branch out and do something different. So to hear that it inspires them to go out and do something, whether it's something like an organization or just whatever they want to do, just hearing that, I was able to break through and make it, you know.
Okay. So when you talk about breakthrough in the challenges, I guess you haven't been this Dejah all alone. Okay. All right. And I know we don't have time to get into all of it, but I do want to ask you, why not be bitter? Because I've heard similar stories like yours. I did get a chance to sit down and talk with you, and I know I wouldn't have lasted a day in your shoes. All right. All right. Well, yeah,
I didn't last a
all right.
day.
All right. So why not be bitter? There's a lot of bitter people out here that have gone through less.
Right.
Why not be bitter? All right.
Um, Honestly, because when I was going through some of the things that I shared with you that I was going through, God always told me that it wasn't gonna last always. He told me that this was just temporary, and that's what I always had looked forward to. And now that God has showed me that the
That's what's
situation was
up,
only
man.
temporary and is doing bigger and better things for me, I have nothing to be bitter for, because that is the only thing I've ever wanted to do, was to just get out of my situation and, help someone that is going through it. So being bitter is not going to get me nowhere. It's not going to do anything for me. That's too much emotion that I would have to put into, and having that emotion, feeling that type of emotion, that's not where I'm at in life anymore.
All right. Every time you talk, I know that I need to shut this down, but it makes me think about the logo. How did the logo come to be? And what is the significance of all of the shades on it?
I had another friend do my logo.
Oh, you got a lot of friends.
Oh yeah,
all
my
right?
friends.
Oh,
That's my
man.
team. That is my
Okay.
team.
Oh, man.
I had another friend do my logo, and I told her, I just want people holding hands, and I literally wanted to portray all shades of people, because I am here for all races, all culture. There's no discrimination whatsoever. I have friends of like every race, every denomination, of everything, and I want everybody to feel included. I want you to know, when you are involved with the Lean on Me Foundation, like, this is a safe place, no matter who you are,
That's beautiful.
what you represent, where you come from, your background. We're all striving for one thing, and that's just to fulfill our dreams and be happy. So
Okay. All right. I know we've got the website up. So anybody that's watching this is TLOMEF, all right, .org. This is a legit 501c3. All right. She got all of her papers. Man, all right, that's a boss. That's what make you a founder and a CEO. All
hey,
right.
I'm
For real.
trying. I'm
All right.
trying.
All right. So after helping all of these women be great, be heard, be seen, what do you do for self-care? How do you balance things out? All right. What do you do? And I hear Gigi laughing. So we get ready to get to tea. All right.
She knows I am very much in tune with myself and my self-care. Everyone that knows me knows I do not play when it comes to self-care. I get my hair done once a month. I have like scheduled nail appointments, massages. The whole works, the whole shebang. I spend time by myself. I go to the movies by myself. I just started reading again. I used to be a super bookworm when I was younger, and I'm just not getting back into that. But yeah, I go and like do all the things to like help me reset.
All right. When did you learn all of those types of things? That's awesome that you're saying that. When did that happen that you just learned that, okay, maybe if I take some time for myself, maybe if I schedule, my own things. When did that happen?
A couple years ago.
Okay. All right.
Literally a few years ago in the process of starting the Lean On Me Foundation. And I have people now even telling me to, make sure I take time out for myself. I recently just bought a gift for myself, some new shoes. And I was telling my friend, like, I kind of felt guilty about it because I have like other stuff that the money could have went towards. But you're not going to feel whole and complete, or at least I'm not going to feel whole and complete with what my purpose is and what my assignment from God is if I'm not whole and complete with within myself.
Man, all right. So I'm looking at, I've had more people check this out with you on than I've had, really, man. All right. So shout out to you. All right. All right, man. This is awesome. And mad respect for you. Oh, we've got some people in the chat. Ground Up, put the praying hands are up for you. All right.
Shout out to Ground Up.
Right.
We work really close together.
Victoria, she's like very inspiring. Well, Victoria, she wasn't saying anything when I was talking, but so if you start talking, everybody doing prayer hands. Okay, all right. Let me stop being a hater. All right.
Hey, I'm telling you, got to get you a team, get you a community, get you the right people.
Well, it appears that you have people that love you. It appears that your team respects you. It appears that your team has seen you in the trenches.
Yes, I am not one to shy away from picking up the phone, calling when I'm like in distress. I call Ricky. Ricky, that's my girl. Ricky is one of the directors that is a part of the Lean On Me Foundation. Ricky has picked me up plenty of times. Gigi, that's why she's here, my emotional support friend. Chelsea, Alyssa, Sadie, Jillian, Tatiana, Morgan, Chanel. Those are literally all of my best friends. Even my other friends, Haley and Kirsten, even the males. Even though they know this is a women's empowerment nonprofit, my male friends have been super, super, very influential and very motivating for me as well too. They always remind me that I can do anything and that I can overcome anything. So even though they're not ever going to be able to attend my events, I just appreciate them for being a supporter. I like to say, get you the right people, the community, your family, because without them, I would not be where I am today.
Well, it also looks like you walk the walk, because we live in a world where 2024 is the year of everybody being exposed for the frauds that they are. All right. And it doesn't take much, to know who's who. And by seeing Kristen, by seeing Shonda Morgan, I think this is Tone. I don't know if it's Tony or Tone. And Zach.
Zach is one of my biggest male supporters. Like every time
that's right, Zach,
we are together and he's introducing me to somebody, that literally the first thing he says is, "This is my friend Dejah. She has a nonprofit. You need to hear about it."
That's right.
And he just stands in a corner and smiles, and I'm just like, we are not here for this. We're gonna have fun.
Right. But we are here for this because one thing about guys, we need to advocate too.
Yeah.
All right. And when we advocate, it brings a different type of energy to it. Man, shout out to you. Our weekly podcast has not had this much involvement in quite some time.
That's the team.
I love what we do. but you just changed the game. So
Thank you.
obviously, what I'm going to do next week, I'm just going to take these off and we'll have Dejah on. All right, we'll have Dejah on. Now, would you mind coming back at one point and just talking about the Lean on Me Foundation, what it's doing, and for the people that watch our podcast, if there's a way that you can support her financially, do that. Go to her website, find out how you can contact her. One of the things that we need, especially for organizations like this, is that they can have some monies that they can use unrestricted. That's not tied to rent or not tied to the curriculum. She's going to need to do what she needs to do, but she can't do that without us. So those of you that love CSRN, if you like the term Black Lives Matter, well, like Lean on Me. If you like the terms Justice or Else and all the stuff in the back, if you like all of that, then like Lean on Me. These are the things that we talk about. And people always say nobody's doing anything. Well, she's doing it. So we don't have to wait for somebody else. She's here. She's doing it. We want everybody that follows us, those thousands of people that follow us, go to her website. Don't inbox us asking, what do y'all need? We don't need nothing we don't need anything. What we want you to do is to log on to her website, contact them, ask her and her team, what is it that they can do? How many zeros you need on the check. All right. And that's right. That's what we need. That's what we need. We thank you for your support and your well wishing.
Thank you.
But this is a movement onto itself.
Yeah. And I would love, this is only the beginning, and this year we are going bigger and better. So I would love to come back and talk about the journey and where we are, and maybe even give some business advice to somebody that's looking to do the same thing or maybe something different. There's room for everyone to be a part of this. So
right. And I think more so it's room for a younger thought. I know that me being a bit older, we've almost exhausted all of our wisdom. All right. And it shows in the way that our community looks.
Yeah.
And it's time for a change. And if you're willing to step up, the least we could do is support. It appears that you already know the way. And what we can do as older people is log onto our website, click on contact, give her a call, and ask them, who do I make the check out to? She don't need your advice. If she needed your advice, she'd ask you. So,
the advice could come with the check.
Right.
Well, the advice could come with the check.
How about that? Write the check first. All right.
Write the check first.
Write the check first. All right. And based on how many zeros is how long she's going to sit and listen to you. All right. So do that. If you like CSRN and you like what we've been doing in the community, then we need you to like Lean on Me Foundation. All right, where can they find you on all social media platforms?
The Lean on Me Foundation is on Facebook and it is on Instagram. On Facebook, it has its very own page, the Lean on Me Foundation. You can like, you can follow. That is where you will get all of the content information. And then on Instagram, it is going to be under the Lean on Me Foundation _ and it will be posted there too.
All right, so if you didn't get that, just play the video back again and write it on down. Hey, let me finish paying some bills and we're going to get up out of here. One of the things that I really want people to know is what's happening in Black History Month. Well, we're having the annual Savior's Day Convention. That is the convention that the Nation of Islam has every year. And this year we're going to be in Detroit. Get your tickets now. Man, the tickets are almost all sold out. So this would be something that definitely everybody should be able to experience. That we just finished Martin Luther King's holiday. We still got leaders here. They're not all dead and gone. All right. We're still getting it popping. If you like CSRN, we want you to like our YouTube page. We want at least 100,000 subscribers. Right now we got as many subscribers. So log into our page, become a subscriber. If you like what we do, we want you to subscribe, like, share, comment. What else? Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Spotify. And if you'd like to support us in what we're doing today, you can hit us on our Cash App. I didn't like the way I said that, but still hit us on our Cash App. Cash tag CSRN 419. PayPal is CSRN 419. We still have some of our CSRN yard signs. Those are coming. We've got our Black Lives Matter signs, inboxes for that, the defund the police signs. And as always, all lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter, and Black lives can't matter until all Black lives matter. Justice or else. Peace.